We are back once again with Ethan Forman of the Gloucester Times, talking all things Gloucester. As usual, his plate is full. How you doing, Ethan?
Oh, my plate runneth over.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Tell us, do tell. What's going on?
Well, talking about runneth over, doing a story about the contamination at Good Harbor Creek, the creek on the backside of Good Harbor Beach.
Mm-hmm.
Again, I am still learning my way around. Do not use Google to find the creek because it will take you out to Good Harbor Beach and then you'll be in Rockport.
This is true.
Again, my adventures.
Yeah.
It's pretty interesting. I came across this story, and it's not a new story, obviously, but I was at the Board of Health meeting listening in about the mask mandate and COVID, and Rachel in the health department, Rachel Belisle Toller, talking about this. And I went to Andrea Holbrook, my editor, and she said, this is a big deal. So followed up. It was on the council agenda, but you couldn't really tell because it was just $120,000 request. And the way government works, hey, so we put two and two together, and the city is going to hire a firm called Woodard and Curran. They're actually a nationwide firm. Suss out the source of contamination at Good Harbor Creek, and it's a big problem. It's not like it was slightly elevated. I don't know. It was like something like 104 coliform unit. I don't know, colony forming units, whatever they see. I'm not a scientist, as you can tell, but they were finding levels of 1,000 in this enterococci bacteria. I can't even pronounce it. Anyway, so it's a if you don't want to ingest it, you don't want to get dysentery. And Scott Memard, the Ward 1 counselor, had mentioned to me that they've had closures in the past, but it's been sort of intermittent closures, nothing this long and nothing this sustained, and the levels just kept getting worse. They did a sampling program in the fall, and they found something like 2,000 CFUs.
Yeah, so, it's been closed for a long time, right?
It was closed also since June 9th. Then when they I guess through the State Department of Public Health, they do a testing program. Mm-hmm. And since June 9th, it was closed indefinitely. So that popular swimming area, which of course, when I went to found it and I realized why, very nice, backside of the beach.
Great for little kids.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's perfect.
Yeah. But I also noticed something else. Now, I'm not a detective, but there were a lot of dogs down there. I know there's no dogs down there in the summer, but there's a lot of dogs down there.
There are a lot of dogs, yeah. That's very
it's like it's Dogville.
Yeah. But they have like tried to solve this mystery for a while, and they can't do it, aren't they? That was in your article.
The city just, if you think about it, there's Rachel's in the health department. She goes out and does sampling. They have somebody in the DPW that does sampling. They've been finding the bacteria in other parts, but their technical expertise isn't, trying to sort something like this out. You need an engineering firm to really figure out where this contamination is coming from. They've put their back into this. I know that there was a resident who was wondering what was going on, but the city is really trying to figure this out. This is not an insignificant, ask, $120,000. But hopefully they can come up and find the source and a solution, how to remediate it. It's pretty serious.
Yeah.
Well, and didn't you say in your article that the water actually that hits the beach is not contaminated? It's just in the creek, right?
It's the creek. They did have, they sample the beach, sample the creek. There's been intermittent closures of Good Harbor Beach, but that's not the issue. It's the backside.
Yeah.
And they're checking the grinder pumps, the sewer pumps. They check septic systems in the area. They're just stumped.
Mm-hmm. Interesting.
So I think
dogs, you might be onto something.
I think the city, if there's any criticism, they are really now making a big push, and this is going to come before the city's budget and finance committee in a couple weeks, and then it'll go to the city council. So it'll come to a head, and hopefully they're hoping to get a solution, in time for the summer, which is right around the corner, which I can't wait.
Well, we know half the beach will be off limits for the next few months as the plovers make their way back to Good Harbor Beach too.
Yeah, I'm all for the plovers.
Yeah. Let me know that. Cool. Okay, so another great story, Ethan, is the latest on proposed parking ban on Farrington Avenue for Niles Beach goers.
So again, learning my way around. I didn't go out to Niles Beach. I think I know where it is because I do a lot of cycling, and I think I cycle around that area, and I think I know where that is. Anyway, the idea that Councilor Scott Memard had brought this proposal to the city council to make it no parking on the north side of Farrington Ave. Southerly side is for residents. Northerly side, it's a free-for-all. I don't know. Anyway, it's a very popular beach. Now, it was termed at the city council meeting as a mother's beach, but let's call it a family beach.
That's what they call it, yeah.
And you want to bring your kids there, and it's a great spot. It's a really nice spot. So there's parking at the beach. There's about 30 spots on the northerly side of Farrington Ave, which was proposed to be no parking, a parking ban. Now, listen, I understand the residents' concerns. Trash. Diapers. And public safety, you don't want kids running down the street and cars going both ways. These are really legitimate concerns, but the police chief said there's been only 3 crashes, minor crashes, including a car scraping another car in the last 5 years. So it's that public safety doesn't really seem to be an issue. But I do understand the quality of life concerns for residents, but you also live near a beach. Know that when you're going in.
Were there a lot of people? Were there a lot of people on the call at the meeting? Yeah,
there was a lot. The discussion on this took over an hour. I was really surprised. I thought this was going to go pretty quickly. But one of the things that I don't have the perspective of is this did come before the city's traffic committee. So I don't have that, but I think there were more voices in favor of that at the traffic at that level than there was at the city council, because it seemed like over a dozen people spoke saying, no, don't ban park, don't take away parking. It's not so much resident, non-resident parking, because a lot of residents use that beach. It's just don't take away this resource. And the idea is that it's going to push it out into the neighborhood. If you ban those 30 cars from going there, where do you think they're going to park? They're going to still want to access the beach. They'll just go up and try to find it somewhere else.
Side street, yeah.
Yeah, so it pushes the problem out. That was Councilor Grove's, contention, and the council voted 8-0 not to change the parking there, which is good, And I thought what I really liked was that people were trying to acknowledge Gloucester is a tourist destination. It's been a tourist destination for a century or more.
Yeah.
You want people to have access, and that was really nice, And I do feel for the residents who have to deal with these quality of life issues, but you do live near a beach.
True.
It's something you have to take the good with the bad. So
well, yeah, and you have Eastern Point Lighthouse is right there as well. So it's going to be trafficy.
Oh yeah. And Gloucester's trafficy most days.
That was a welcoming decision, though. I like that too. I agree.
Yeah, they said, we want people to come in,
So. Right. Nice.
Okay, nice work, Ethan. Okay, and lastly, some more good news coming from the folks at GMGI.
Yeah, they just won a statewide economic impact award from this group called Mass Econ, which is a public and private sector job growth, business growth booster. And they will be going to Gillette Stadium in April to accept the award. They're one of 14 winners in the state. Now, I was talking to Chris Bolzan, the executive director at GMGI, and she's telling me that not many nonprofits, if any, have ever won an award like this. So, Wayfair was a winner. Raytheon gets mentioned. So,
wow.
up there. They do amazing stuff. GMGI is like way ahead of its time, doing genomics research, marine genomics research, that blue economy research that we all talk about, and teaching young adults who may have lost their way, may not be going to college, to be lab technicians and making, upwards of $40,000 start entry-level salary. Being a lab technician in a biotech or a life sciences company. Really great, really forward-thinking, right here on the nation's oldest seaport.
That's right. Yeah, it's real impressive stuff. As was your reporting this week, Ethan. We really appreciate it, and we'll catch
Well,
up
I
with you same
appreciate
time
it.
next week, right?
Thanks for putting up with me, Gloucester.
It's very early. We're still honeymooning here, Ethan.
I know. I think I know. I'm already sleeping on the couch. I'm in the doghouse.
Yeah. All right. Take care. We'll have a good one. We'll see you soon.
Thank you.
Thanks,
Bye.
Corey. Thanks, Heather.
This episode of Cape Ann Today is brought to you by J&L Welding.
Interested in a sponsorship? Email sponsor@1623studios.org to learn more.